Hello, investors, and welcome back. Let's talk about SNDL. Let's take a look at it. I've got this filtered with the screener using FinViz. And for those of you that didn't know, if you click on this All tab, you can get all of these drop downs and filter for even institutional ownership or insider trading, insider transactions, earnings dates. If you want to do the last 5, you can filter by RSI indicators if you're specifically looking for items that are oversold. So I have this filtered by healthcare and the industry drug manufacturing. So that way I can get the rest of the industry to see, is it just a market rebound? Is the rest of the industry trending? Plus, whenever I clicked on my Moomoo account earlier, I did notice that one of the best performing sectors popped up for the cannabis industry, and I was wondering what was going on. I wanted to dig into it. Now, I think we've met the bottom, and I want to talk about that also. I want to take a look at the charts, at least from a technical perspective for SNDL. I think we've reached the bottom. Now, nearly a quarter of the members of the U.S. Senate are joining together to call on congressional leaders to ensure that marijuana banking provision are enacted into law as part of a large-scale manufacturing bill. 24 senators, including 19 Democrats and 5 Republicans. 5 Republicans. That is really key right here. This is what I wasn't sure if we would be able to get across the line. We have got to pay the bills. We keep writing these checks and sending billions and billions of dollars over for the war. So enough about the war for now. Just know that that is a macroeconomic factor, that it doesn't look like it's going to slow down immediately, but we'll take a look at that in just a minute. Let's talk about Nova. They had their conference call earlier this week, and their new CEO spoke for the first time, and she came from an operations position within the company that I like. Here's what I wasn't so keen on, and I was listening for growth. How many stores do they plan on opening? And I think it was between 9 and 12. So they do plan on growing their footprint, and that's important because SNDL has that 63% equity in the company. Now, this is different, and it could change from what Zach was saying last time I heard him speak. It didn't sound, during the Q&A portion, during his last earnings call, it sounded like he was not going to aggressively be expanding the Spirit Leaf brand or retail footprint because of the oversupply in the market. So looks like they're going to be focusing and doubling down and making sure that they can run operations with the Alcana transaction. And I think that's the smart thing to do, even though they're closing down a few stores and maybe not opening up as many. It didn't sound like they would be aggressively growing. So Nova brought 49.8, and that was only 18.8%, like 1/5. And I just believe if you're spending $40 million and you're only taking less than $10 million away, that there's definitely opportunity to increase that gross margin percentage. Whole excitement of investing in SNDL, in my opinion, was that Alcana transaction and seeing that revenue get reported, and I don't think that's going to happen until Q2. So we've got this in-between period of where Zach just reported basically in this last earnings that there will be a reverse stock split. So, I mean, it's killing the price along with this blackout period. But I do think that there will be a rebound in the price to be able to exit before he formally announces that reverse stock split. So it hasn't been formally announced. Now, what's happening with the market? Is it bouncing off key support levels? And I like to look at Bitcoin and that price, and it did aggressively rebound off of here. It's going to be really important that Bitcoin stays at above 26,000. Now, lockdowns are not getting any better, and when I'm reading the headlines for Shanghai, I want to see that they are not having the toughest restrictions yet. I want to see that we're moving past this because the global economy is taking a hit. We are so entrenched in a global economy, even though nationalism is a thought, and we want to build everything, we want to have supply chains over here, we want to do everything nationally, we're still part of this global network. So we also need to pay attention on what's happening with OPEC or anything oil related for the oil prices miss for production. And it says a whopping 2.7 million, but OPEC continues to undershoot. And this is going to cause the price of oil to go up. With this Eastern European conflict, we need to see that go away. We don't need to see anything prolong it. And Russia says it could take retaliatory steps if Finland joins NATO. None of this article, none of these headlines sound like anything over there is slowing down. NATO members say they are welcoming Finland's membership bid, and then Finland's leaders give the green light for NATO membership. That's the recap there. That situation is not getting better, and this is not fear-mongering or trying to get you excited. I believe when we reach peak fear, we've reached the bottom. We have reached peak fear, I believe, right now. But will this get better soon is the point that I'm trying to make. And I want you to take profits off the table when you get an opportunity. You don't sell at this point right now because you feel like you see your stocks going down so low. I mean, you do what you want with your money, but I would say you hold tight and you wait for a better exit position. Even if you're going to take a loss, this is not the time to do it, in my opinion. Now, Mohammed even says the cost of living crisis, after the hot inflation data, this is only going to get worse. So we're nearing a cost of living crisis. So it's not here yet, but once we get there, you can see the market's reaction. And in June, we are supposed to be offloading the balance sheet. Now, I could go through and find every article that's going to say everything great about Sundial, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to stay realistic in this channel, and I'm going to give you honest feedback of what I think is happening, and you let me know what you think in the comments below. Sundial is a 180 company, in my opinion, but its valuation was high, and we know Alcana is going to happen, so we've got something on the calendar. It's just the timing. I'll say this again and again. It's so crazy. So we do have this article that says Sundial has the potential to double from its current levels. That's obvious to every single one of us, but what's actually going to happen? Right now, let's take a look at the charts. You can see I've got this in the day chart, and the last time it was at these levels in the day chart is right now, and that's why I'm saying Sundial could be at the bottom. Of course, we know this has went to 35. I believe everybody's tapped out on buying more. If you exited your position, and you're looking to come back in, obviously you're going to get a great price, I believe, in the immediate term. Now I want to zoom in to the 5-minute chart and look at this white line. This is going to be the 20 EMA. This is where we opened. Market was about 34.78. You can see it marked right here with the green line. It spent about 10 minutes there. And what we're looking for is a confirmation that it hits the bottom, not only the RSI indicator. It was in deep territory down here, but it violently responds back and says, I do not want to be there. But also, was there a catalyst that kind of helped out, a tweet, like I was saying earlier this morning, that legislative help, and then it gets up here to the 200 and then pulls back, and you can see another 10 minutes of confirmation that it was pulling back there, the ability to take profits, and now it's coming back, revisiting that RSI again before it finds support and goes back up. Hopefully we're going to see a reversal on where this is trending. Hopefully we start to see these stair steps go in the opposite direction. That's what I'm going to be looking for. I do not want to see this bust below 34.78. That's going to be the line that I'll be watching. And let's take it back to the day chart. Just look, every time this has hit this moving average up here, it has come back down. It hasn't even gotten close. And now we have made it down in the day chart, to our RSI indicator saying that this is oversold. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and see those offers for free shares in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.